Hollywood just likes its book adaptations, doesn't it? Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my apartment. Now today we are going to be talking about the film Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Got it in one take. This is a book based off a novel which I have not read. It's based on a series, or at least a trilogy, as far as I could tell. And this is the first one. Will we see another one? I have no idea. General, very vague idea for this novel is that there are groups of people in the world called peculiars, or they have special powers. They can either levitate because that's their peculiarity. They can turn people to stone. They can turn into cats. They can morph into different shapes. Things of that nature. And when they're young children, they usually stay in a home protected by a guardian in a time loop. So the whole day just keeps on repeating it over and over and over again. And so they just never have to venture out into society, and it keeps them safe. When Jake's grandfather dies and he was a part of one of these groups, Jake decides to go and find the stories that his grandfather told him as a kid, and we have our movie to an extent. Eva Green plays Miss Peregrine. She does a very good job. She's probably the best person in this movie because I thought that she just encapsulated this character very, very well, and I really enjoyed seeing her on screen. She had a very good screen presence in this movie, and I just found her to be a very, very interesting character. Asa Butterfield, who I've mainly only seen in Ender's Game, to my knowledge, as far as I can remember. He's also in this movie. He's the main character. He's Jake, and he's the hero who's going to save the day because he's got an obscene, unique ability that nobody else has, and it's what makes him the hero of the story. So, you've seen this a million times. Ella Purnell, she plays Emma. She is the girl who can float. She is the love interest as well. In this movie, I thought that her and Asa Butterfield, they had very good chemistry together. I really enjoyed seeing them on screen together because they don't really force the romance in there. It's not like, oh hey, 10 minutes in, oh hey, you're together, good job. No, it develops naturally over the course of the film. I appreciate that. And then Samuel L. Jackson is our main villain of this film, and I felt that he was honestly kind of cartoony. He starts off as kind of this menacing figure, but when you start to see him more and more on screen, he just doesn't really come across as that threatening of a villain because he just doesn't do very smart things in regards to just how he reacts to certain situations. I really like the idea for this movie because while we have seen the general concept a million times by now, I thought that it is a unique take on it. We have these kids who are born with a recessive gene which allows them to have special abilities, and they have to stay away from society, or else obviously society would deem them freaks and kill them of some sort. So the idea around this film is very, very interesting, and something which is kind of fun to think about if it was actually a realistic thing. There's a lot of CGI in this film, and I thought that that was also done very, very well in regards to the movie. There's a lot of special effects as well, with people having fire powers or having to levitate again, or just different abilities that these kids end up having. And I thought that it was all done and shown very, very effectively on the screen. My only real gripe with the film is that I was a little bit confused with the time travel-esque elements that this film does use. Because we have Jake, who's originally from this time period, 2016, and he is going back to 1943. And it's just like, how does time move in regards to that, when it's just, oh hey, the same day is repeating? Does time move steadily in 2016 while time is just continuing here? Or, I don't know. I felt like some elements, especially more towards the later half of the film, were just kind of confusing in regards to, okay, did he just actually travel through time? Or how is this whole system working? It just didn't feel that well explained to me. One thing that I did appreciate about the film, especially when it ended, was the fact that it didn't really feel like it was setting up a sequel. Yes, we have like a very, very tiny cliffhanger in regards to, oh hey, what's going to happen to everybody after the events of this movie? But it didn't really feel like it needed a sequel. And so I know there are sequels to this story, and if the film does really well, it will probably get made. But it didn't leave it off in like a cliffhanger note, like, oh hey, if you go and see this movie, we're going to get a sequel. No, it just felt like a self-contained movie. And that's something which is really rare these days with these book adaptation films, which are hoping to be made into the next Hunger Games or Harry Potter. No, it felt like a very self-contained story, and I don't really see the need for a sequel especially if it doesn't do that well. Guys, I thought that Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, it's a good movie. I didn't really have any major issues with it really in regards to story or anything like that. I felt like the time travel elements could have been done a little bit better. I felt like Samuel L. Jackson's character was a little bit cartoony to be taken seriously as a villain. But otherwise, yeah, definitely check this thing out if you're interested. If you've read the book, obviously I have not, so I don't know how well of an adaptation it is, but I don't know, check it out if it's something that you're interested in. Those are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Did you like it as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe once again if you so choose. I appreciate it immensely. And as always, my people, my name is Nick Pell. And once again, keep on watching.